This old couple is not an ordinary old couple. Every tenant who comes to his homestay has their eyes gouged out, cut off the ear, and then sew these parts together, make a living dead specimen, buried in the underground dark layer. Actually, this is a very scary homestead. The walls are filled with living dead people. These people are all gone. Eyes and ears rely on the unknown pharmaceutical industry to sustain their lives, so an old couple doesn't harm anyone's life. But we will make specimens of living humans for research. This day, a girl named Xiaomei came to the homestead. He suffers from severe neurasthenia. I need to find a remote and quiet place to recuperate, so I chose this place. He was greeted by a kind old couple, enthusiastically arranged the best room for him. Xiaomei settled down with peace of mind. But just as she was preparing to rest, a strange sound came from the wall. Xiaomei peeked closer and listened. The sound's gone again. She thought she was mentally unstable. There was an auditory hallucination. It turned out that a cockroach had crawled out of the wall. Scared, she kept retreating. I happened to bump into the old woman who was coming. Xiaomei immediately indicated that she wanted to change rooms, but the old woman said, "This is the last room. Let him make do for one night first." Xiaomei can only reluctantly accept, but in the middle of the night, strange things happen again. A sudden knock on the door rang out. Xiaomei wants to get up, but I found that I couldn't move at all. It's like encountering a ghost pressure on the bed. Immediately after, a man slowly walked in. What does he want to do? Suddenly, men are covered in black headsets, dragged away, but the landlord came with a ruler, start measuring Xiaomei's height, and then the old woman also came. I don't know if it's for Xiaomei. What ointment? The next day, Xiaomei woke up safely from bed. There's nothing wrong with him. It seems like everything last night was just a dream. She walked out of the room, looking at the kind-looking old woman. It doesn't look like a bad person at all, so I blamed everything last night on my own mental illness, gradually removed the guard, and it turned out that in the evening, the knocking sound in the wall reappears. Xiaomei gently broke open the gaps in the wall. I actually saw 2 moving fingers inside. This is the legendary discounted homestead. As long as tourists, who have stayed here before, all of them, will be turned into living dead people. They were gouged out of their eyes, cut off your ears, sealed in the wall, by injecting medication to sustain life. Frequent knocking on walls. Seek help. Little Mei, who had just checked in, knew nothing about it. Hear a sound behind the wall. Take a closer look. She gently broke open the gaps in the wall. I actually saw 2 moving fingers inside. Xiaomei was almost scared. Out of the body of the soul. He's not sure if what he saw is real. Thought it was my own illusion again. So I followed the steps and found an interlayer on the wall. Open mezzanine. I saw a bag of unknown liquid hanging inside. There is also a hidden door under the mezzanine. After opening, inside, it was pitch black. Subsequently, Xiaomei took out a flashlight and took a photo. There's actually a living dead person hidden inside. Just then, a tenant from the same homestead sent her a message. Xiaomei quickly told the other party what she had discovered, but Xiaomei didn't know that she was actually the old woman outside the door who replied to him. As for the tenant, obviously, it has already entered a certain wall. I heard nothing inside. The old woman broke into the door directly. Xiaomei hit a candlestick. The old woman fell to the ground in an instant. She wants to get out of here quickly. All doors and windows are locked. Xiaomei had to go downstairs and continue searching for the exit. I finally found a small door. She didn't want to, so she went in. There's actually a group of living dead people inside. Everyone reached out and grabbed Xiaomei. Xiaomei struggles desperately, finally managed to escape, but as soon as he came out, he was caught by the old man. Subsequently, the old woman got a shot of anesthesia and stuck it down. Camera rotation. Xiaomei was tied to a chair. The old couple is preparing surgical tools on the side. Then he took out a needle and injected it into Xiaomei's eyes. Just as she picked up the scalpel to continue, a knock on the door rang out. The girl's eyeballs were injected with unknown liquid. The old woman picked up the scalpel, prepared to gouge her eyeballs. The girl really doesn't understand why the old couple should treat themselves like this. The old woman kindly helped him solve his doubts. Original. This old woman used to be a doctor, because carrying the hospital to liven up dead research. Be dismissed. The old man supported his wife's research. Just transform your home into a homestead. Attracting customers to attack old women with low prices is even more remarkable in research. She made her own granddaughter live dead too. It's like this. There will never be any troubles. Xiaomei is almost scared to death. Fortunately, when the old woman was preparing to take the knife, a knock on the door interrupted her. The old woman opened the door and took a look. He's a handsome middle-aged man. Men are here to find their own sons. While they were chatting, the anesthetic on Xiaomei's body is gradually becoming ineffective. She struggled to climb towards the window, unexpectedly managed to flip it out. She quickly hid in the man's car. Here, men are also quickly destroyed by the old master. The couple dragged out the man's body. Xiaomei quickly hid in the back seat of the car. The man's body was placed in the passenger seat. The old man drove the car to the edge of the cliff, intended to disguise as an accident. Xiaomei crashed into a cliff with her car. Fortunately, she didn't die. The injury is not serious either. After a period of treatment, he was discharged and returned home, but her neurasthenia is getting worse. Both parents are workaholics, busy with work all day long, no time to care about Xiaomei. Xiaomei gradually developed severe depression. Perhaps it's a continuation of a liberation. She ultimately chose to return to that homestead, volunteer to be made alive by an elderly couple. She got her eyes gouged out, cut one's ear, buried under the cold floor, but the corners of her mouth were slightly raised. Perhaps for him, this is the best choice.